Thank you. Hi, everyone. So nice to meet you. My first time here, so I'm really excited. And I'm going to speak with you today. First, I'm going to explain you what SimilarWeb do. Just a quick questions. How many people in the audience ever heard or used SimilarWeb? Okay, so I have a good audience today. And then in the second phase, I'm going to tell you about the story, how we ending up measuring the digital world, because we have a nice story. We run for 10 years, but we didn't start for measuring the digital world. And I thought this is going to be an interesting subject to talk here today. It's kind of an entrepreneurial story, but let's begin. So what does it mean that we measure the digital world? I'm going to explain to you how our technology works, but basically we provide data about what's happening on the internet. So we can give you insight on every website or every app in more than 190 countries, that basically you can put a website, see how much traffic he have, how he rank, where he's getting his traffic, or what marketing channels work for him, and the same thing for apps. So we can tell you like how many people download certain apps, how many people use it, etc. And I will show you a nice demo that you understand the power of this data and how people are using it. Now, before we're going to start, I'm going to show you like a very quick demo that you will understand what we do. And lucky I have internet here, so I'm going to do something very scary. It's like a live demo. It's not always work. And if I have some bugs or mistake, I apologize. It's never worked perfect. Okay, so basically our company divided for two services. We have a free website. Basically, it's free to everyone. And then we have a paid version, and I'll explain you how our business model works. So I came in, and he told me, like he recognized that I'm here in Lithuania, so he told me the biggest news, and I can even click. And because we kind of doing rating to the internet, so we can tell you who are the biggest website in every category in every country. And I also discovered that we have ranking for Lithuania, that I was really surprised and happy about it, that I can present you here, because not all countries have. So what you're seeing here is the biggest website in Lithuania. And you can see that it's very common that the first four will be Google, local Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Google.com. But then there is a lot of the news like Delphi and 5min. And the interesting thing I saw that number 9 is auto cars, Autopilus. And a friend of mine who lives here told me that you really love cars. So I found it very hilarious. And this is like our free website, and then I can go and I can go more deeply, and I can basically go and check out Delphi.lt, and the system will tell me immediately, so this website, although it's Lithuanian website, is ranking 1,198 in the world. So it's very big for such a small country, have a property that really engage. So there's only 1,197 websites that are bigger than this website in the world. It ranked number 5 in Lithuania, and out of all the websites under news and media in the world is number 224. So I think it's very impressive, and all this data that we share for free with everybody that basically give you like overview what's going on in the digital world. So you can see it get around 28 million visits average in this period of time, and you can see that the audience stays 6 minutes and usually watch 6 pages. And you can see another like interesting stuff like where does the audience come from. So you see a lot of Lithuania, of course, but I can see kind of distribution of the Lithuanian people around the globe. So we have 6% of you in Russia, 5% in the United Kingdom, 2% in Norway. So it was interesting to see. And of course, there's other interesting thing, and I just want to share with you all those free stuff we give and explain you how you can use it. So these traffic sources, I like to call it the website DNA, because it really explains me the DNA of our website ending up visiting this website. You see, a big part is direct, so people really go on the browser and go directly to this website. Big part comes through search, but the nice thing that really, and you can see in a lot of news websites, that basically they consume a lot of the traffic through social network. Social network become really powerful distribution channel for the news. And I assume that a lot of you, when you think about it, most of the time you consume the news is through your Facebook feed or through Twitter, for example. And you can see like a nice example, like which website driving traffic to Delphi, and then where the traffic lives. So you see that they love to go and read Cosmopolitan after that. And search. So you see that 17% of the traffic come from search, but it's mostly organic, and most of the people search like the branded name of the website. Social, it's very nice. So you can see it almost 9.5%, that almost all of it come from Facebook. So Facebook is the main driver on the social. You can see where this website doing is display advertising, which ad network you use, and the nice thing is the subdomain. So I can see the content, like you see the mobile, how much is coming from the Russian, and et cetera, et cetera. And this is something very nice. It's basically telling you people who visit Delphi website in the same session what other website they like to visit. Basically, this is how we started our life, and I'm explaining you more about that later on. But you can see that they really engage around news and media, sport, basketball. Okay, so I find it's interesting. And then you see some other website they like to visit in this session. And of course, something very nice, we basically mapping all the websites that we think that are probably similar, that if you like, see, so 5min I saw going back here a lot. So I can ask them, okay, so compare me, and let's see the difference between 5min and Delphi. And I can see that see, Delphi is a little bit bigger, but Delphi have people spend more time though. And you can see that Delphi is doing a little bit more dependently on social traffic and search. So this was just a little bit a nice overview of our free product. Now we're gonna go back to the presentation and I'll try to show you more about what we do. So what you saw now, basically, it's how I decided to show this slide to explain you about the company. So what you saw is the free website. We have a freemium approach model. So we give some information for free that basically help engage millions of users every month who come get some insight about the digital world. We have a SaaS platform, so it's much more advanced system from the free one that I maybe show you a quick overview how it's look. And then a lot of companies consume our data through API, basically want to get market data into their own systems when they have all those dashboards, how they perform according to the market. And this is what we perform. We provide market intelligence, and market intelligence have a few use cases. One is, okay, I want to benchmark myself if I'm doing well. So if I'm Delphi and I'm growing I don't know, 5% a year, and 5min is growing 25% a year, I'm not in the right fit. A lot of the time people use us in order to basically analyze the competition. So they go into their competitors, understand what's working for them, what marketing channels work better than others, and then they basically try to duplicate or basically win their market by basically understanding what is the right moves and what is the right strategies that we should take in order to conquer the market. Now, maybe if we have some time, just a quick overview, because I think it's very nice to see, you see, for example, a paid version look like a war room. So you can put say, just preloaded here a lot of companies, and then you can see how many visits they have, how many come from desktop versus how many come from mobile, and you can get, it's a very complicated system, and you can see all the metrics, where you're winning, where you're losing, and over time, how the traffic grow, and you see the distribution in every different country of each one of the players, and it's very, very big high overview of which marketing channels work for each one of those players, and so, and we're not going to get it, but I think it was nice snip that you will understand the value behind what we provide. And there's two nice stories about our company that I will try to share with you in the next 30 minutes. And if we're going to have some time later, be open to a few quick 2 or 3 questions that if you want to ask about what we do. So let's start a little bit about background about our company. So we founded 10 years ago in 2007. We are close to 400 employees, and we raised more than $100 million in funding over those 10 years, and mostly in the past 4 years. We're growing very fast. We consider to be the fastest growing company out of Israel. And we had an interesting story because we operate for 10 years, but we didn't start as market intelligent. We started as a website recommendation. I'm going to tell you the story. And only when we pivot, we change what the company do almost 5 years ago. And this is when we really start to scale up and basically start to build a really big business. We spread around 8 offices. So we have R&D headquarters in Israel and Kiev. We have another few sales and marketing headquarters around London, New York, San Francisco, and another sales office in Tokyo. Our customers, we serve thousands of customers. The interesting thing about the service we provide that we have customers in more than 100 countries. And before I came here, I also discovered we have 4 customers here in Lithuania, and I also went to visit 2 of them. It was very nice. And we serve customers from all industries. So it can be finance and consulting, that can be banks. We have brands around like Target, Walmart, UPS, Adidas, Nike that buy the data to understand the digital world. You have e-commerce player, we have the big internet players, travel, and you name it. Because if you really think about the data we provide, that is competitive intelligent, market intelligent, it's something really engaged, and everybody wants to know what the competition is doing, and everybody wants to know how they perform according to the market. And this is one of the things that enable us to scale very fast, as we have a very big market we approach in many different countries. And here's something that I will spend few minutes because I think it's really important, because the first question that a lot of people ask me when I present what we do is like, how are you getting this data? How you have my data? How are you seeing what's going on the internet? And this is where our story begins, but basically 10 years ago, we started to build utilities that user was downloading to their browsers, and then we build other apps that user use. And basically, over those years, we were able to build very good product that people downloads. We didn't charge money for them. And in return, the user opt-in to basically join our global panel. And through this distribution and through other partnership, we're able to build the biggest panel in the world of online users, and basically monitor 400 million devices every month and see their online behavior. Of course, everything we collect is anonymously aggregated, so we don't collect user data, we only collect data around websites or apps. This is the data we provide. So this massive panel of 400 million devices every month worldwide basically give us a nice understanding, okay, what's going on the internet. But we took a different approach. This was 5 years ago. We decided to merge more data sources in order to understand the digital world. So we had crawling and scraping capabilities. So we see 400 million people surfing the internet, using apps, and then we duplicate this behavior through servers around the world and basically collect data extraction from all around the internet. So we scroll all the websites, understand, doing some taxonomy, understand their category, understand the subject, and collect a lot of data from all of public sources, and also take this data and drop it into our big data warehouse. And we also work with something called ISP. ISP is Internet Service Providers. So we partner with them, and we get a lot of log files, how their users behave online. So we have those 3 very big data sources of the biggest panel in the world, data extraction through crawling and scraping, and data that come from ISPs. We merge all this data together, and we try to do from algorithms a picture how the digital world behave, how much traffic arrives to every website, and etc. And the last source of data that we're calling a learning set. This is something that it was developed in the past few years. Because we have those free websites that I showed you before, that we have millions of companies engage every month, a lot of them basically want to verify their data in the website. So they basically come and we let them the options to share with us their real numbers in order to show it in our website. So we have today 340,000 websites and apps sharing with us the real numbers. Now, what that's able to give us a learning set. So we're building algorithms with all the data we have, and then through machine learnings, we're able to understand the error mistakes we have and fix it. And this is a very powerful process and iteration that's going every day, and the data is always improving. And every day we have, I don't know, tens or hundreds of new websites and apps sharing us with data. We collect more information from the other side, and this whole process always improving our estimation how the digital world behave. And this is how we're able to predict. So it's a little bit complicated, but it's something that's really important to understand and how we're doing it. And here you see the entire flow. So you see all those three main sources of panel, crawling, ISP on the left, going through cleaning, categorization, and processing, going in through a machine learning algorithm that uses the learning set. And we analyze around 5 billion events every day. And the challenge that we have is basically that if every day I need to analyze all the 5 billion events, because tomorrow I have another new 5 billion event. So you cannot afford yourself not able to process in the entire day, because then you have a change of React. So it's very big infrastructure that around 100 engineers and PhDs working on that. And then we provide the insight on around 200 million websites worldwide and 5 million apps. And all of this interesting story that I told you now have a very funny start. And this is our story and my personal story that I want to share with you today, as I thought it's going to be interesting and engage to the audience. So my personal story that basically I started selling jewelry 10 years ago, more 12 years ago, and I ended up to build a web measurement company. And I know it's not trivial path of life, but it's funny story. So this story began with my two parents, that they are artists. Okay, my mother is a jewelry designer and my father is a painter. And after I finished my army service in Israel, it's something we all need to do between the age of 18 and 21. I thought to myself, what I want to do that's gonna grow up. And I said, let's take my mother and build a jewelry empire out of the small workshop she have. And I started to work and build some online jewelry stores, and it's a long story, but one day I had a meeting with one of our suppliers or colleague from United States, and he, when he saw the design of our jewelry, told me, you know, your jewelry are very nice, and they're very similar to a jewelry designer, David Yurman. And I told him, David what? He said, David Yurman, you never heard about David Yurman? I said, no, and he was laughing. Anybody here heard about David Yurman? Raise your hand. You see. Thank you. So I was like all the other. I never heard about them, and I was very embarrassed. I was young, and didn't want that people know that I don't know about jewelry. So what I did as a computer geek, I went online and searched, and this is what I found. I found the most amazing jewelry designer I ever saw in my life, and I go into his website, and I got extremely excited because basically, this was my dream. Like, if you asked me before what I want to be on growth, I said, I want to be David Yurman. But I didn't know that David Yurman exists because I never heard about him. And he did everything right. He was a big thing. It's like it's a few $100 million brand. It's very big in the United States. Giselle and a lot of Kate Moss are representative. And he basically had a very similar design to me, but I never heard about him. And I was so excited, and I went inside and I saw all those amazing designers, and I was wow. And then it occurred to me like, okay, wait a second. If David Yurman is there and I never heard about him, there are probably a lot of other jewelry designers that I never heard about them, and I want to know about them, but I don't know how. So then I thought to myself, okay, maybe I will Google it. So I started to Google similar sites to David Yurman, jewelry designer like David Yurman. And back then in 2007, nothing came up. And then it's really bothered me, like how the hell I don't have something to help me find similar sites. If I like David Yurman, I want to see all the other websites that are similar. And then one night, it occurred to me that what I really need is when I go to David Yurman, I need a nice program that tells me if you like David Yurman, this is all the other websites you should check. And then I said, yes, it's an amazing idea. If I need it, millions of people need it. And I started working on that because I was a programmer, and I met a few friends that was in high school with me, and we started working on building this kind of feature. And this is something called recommendation engine. And recommendation engine was a very big thing in 2007. And if you really think about it, it's all over the place. Example, you're going to YouTube, you watch a video, YouTube tell you people who watch this video also like to watch those videos. You go to Amazon, you look on a product, it tells you people who watch this product also like to buy those products. But there was no such a thing for websites. So we decided to go for it. And this was the beginning. This was the first similar web. And this is why we stuck with the name Similar Web. Although today we don't do that. We're doing web measurement. It's a tip to choose the right name when you start something very vague, nobody understands, like Google, Yahoo, Bing, that if you pivot the company, you can still stay with the name and don't feel bad about it. So this is the first product. After 2 years of work, we launched it in 2009, and it was a browser extension that sits on your browser, and basically every website you visit, it tells you if you like this website, try those websites. We built a lot of interesting technologies to crawl all the websites, map them, categorize them, but the strong algorithm behind the product was the community of users. Everyone who downloaded the product basically contributed his surfing behaviors to improve the technology. Because we understand really quick that if you visit news.com and then you visit bbc.com, if you visit news, we should recommend you BBC, and if you visit BBC, so we had to collect a lot of surfing behaviors in an aggregated way. And here is the first model of the product. It was a sidebar sitting on your browser. You see, you visit the New York Times, and then it's telling you, you like the New York Times, visit CNN.com, visit Time.com, visit Routers.com, and it was an amazing product. And we got featured, and we got millions of users downloading this product. But no money. All right? Money is important. So we thought about an amazing way to monetize it, and we said, okay, how we can do money? Let's sell advertising, because it's like Google. You know, you're going to a website, and now showing you organic result. Let's make the first one, you see there, the CNN, the first one on the top. Let's make it paid. And then we built some models, and then we saw how we're becoming rich very fast. And in reality, life told me a very good rule, and it's called the two-click-to-conversion rule that basically killed this idea. Because we thought when users are going to download the product, they're going to keep it open, the sidebar, and everywhere they're safe, they're going to see recommendation, and they're going to click, and then we did some calculation. In reality, what user did, they closed the sidebar, because it's really annoying to have it as you surf the internet, and then they only open it when they needed it. That is really rare, okay? And then it's basically, we thought that they're going to be there, and they're going to do click. In reality, they had to do 2 clicks. They had to do 1 click to open the sidebar, and then a second click on the results. And this basically messed up all the revenue model. And from doing a lot of money, basically, we did nothing. And for a long period of time, we didn't know what will be a nice way. So we had to look for many alternative ways to basically maintain the company. So we start to think what we're going to do. And what you're seeing here, I think it's basically the story of our company over the 10 years, and I call it the life cycle of idea. That is very unique, how we grew for many different directions until we able to understand what's working for us. So the first thing you see on the left, there is the first similar web. The first thing that we noticed, that when people downloading our browser plugin, they get a thank you page saying, thank you for downloading our product. When they uninstall the product, we gave them a page saying, sorry to see you go, please tell us why. And stuff. And then similarweb.com, but then they become a very big website. We have millions of users downloading the product and landing on our websites. So we said, why not monetize the website? Let's put advertisement. But then we discover that Google is not allowed to put ads on websites that get traffic from softwares. So we decided to recommend, if you download SimilarWeb, we will try to recommend other products that we build. And this worked very well. And then we decided to build an ad network for monetizing softwares. And this company we launched in 2010 got acquired for $28 million 2 years after. So we are very lucky to have one exit from a spin-off of idea. That was a very nice approach. And the second thing we did, we took the technology and we said, OK, not a lot of people want to have a browser plugin. Let's build a website. And we call it similarsites.com. That in order you don't need to download anything, you can just go and search website and get results. This was nice. The website grew to be a very nice website, millions of users, we were able to put ads, we did some money, and then we said, okay, let's build another website, we call it topsite.com, that's kind of twist of the technology because we're already analyzing all the websites out there and we can kind of know who is bigger and we start building those offering. But it didn't scale. It was nice business, not really excited. Then we tried to sell the technology as API. I said, if we like the similar sites technology, maybe other company will want it. All of that was a lot of work to try to monetize, and basically it had a glass ceiling. So every time we tried to do something, it was nice, but it was not interesting. Like we didn't able to build a big company around it. And then what happened that basically led to SimilarWeb was that we met, because we have all those users downloading our product and we saw all those user surfing behaviors and we use it to improve the website recommendation, very fast a lot of market research companies start to approaching us and telling us, you know, this data you have about how the digital world behave, we will be very happy to buy this data from you. So we were happy. We found the first business model. Let's sell raw data of digital surfing behaviors to research company. And very quick, we realized that we are sitting wrong in the food chain. So because we were building a lot of product, getting all this data and selling it to market research company, and they basically take this data, analyze, present it in a nice way, and sell it for high value of money, while we're selling the raw data and not making a lot of money. And what I love about this story, that it really reminds me the jewelry world, where I come from, and I give you an example. In the jewelry world, you need gold to make jewelry. Getting the gold out of the ground is very tough, so you need to have mines in Africa or Canada and dig in the ground, take the gold out. You sell the gold to jewelry brands for, let's say, X amount of money. They take the gold, create a jewelry that you can wear, put a brand around the jewelry, and then they sell the jewelry for 100x. Okay? So most of the money and the margin come when you own your own brand and you sell it that is usable. So it's much more profitable to sell jewelry from gold than go try to get the gold out of the ground. So we decided we're going to take the data we have and we're going to build our own brand. We're going to analyze the data and we're going to present it on a website. And then we decided to pivot and to take the SimilarWeb brand, and instead of doing website recommendation, browser plugin, we're going to present you a measurement of what's going on in the digital world. And then we launched SimilarWeb in 2013, only 4.5 years ago as a web measurement. And then the company started to scale up extremely fast. And in the beginning, we didn't know what would be the right model to sell the data. So we tried to sell it as an API, like get the data for your own software, but it wasn't work. It was working nice, and then the second phase we launched the advanced system called the SimilarWeb Pro that basically help every brand to be expert to understand what's happening in the digital world. And this is when we grow up extremely fast and raise $100 million to become the next company that measures the digital world. Now, you can see I put the timeline of how tough it was to work on that. So in 2009, when we launched the first product, after 2 years in the garage, you see 1 year after, we had to pivot from browser plugin to website. After 1 year, we understand it's not going to work, so we start working on a web measurement technology. The interesting thing that in 2012, we already have a prototype that works. But at that time, I decided that if I'm going to launch a new product, I'm going to do it right. Because I understand that in the internet, you have usually one shot to come with the product, and it needs to be extremely good. And if it's good, it scales extremely fast. So we had to kill the first product that we built because it wasn't great. We decided to stay another year, bring a better designers, better product managers, and build everything from scratch that it will look extremely fine, not compromise. And then we launched in 2013 the new websites that scale up extremely fast. And already in 2014, we understand that we went on something extremely big because we saw the demand for the product we have. Now, the last slide that I'm going to finish with today, I think it's this slide. And it's mean if life gives you lemon, try to make a lemonade of it. And this is my tip from you, that you need to look what you have in your hand and twist it many times until you understand how you can produce the right gold out of it. So we have quick time. We have a few minutes for if you want for 1-2 questions from the audience. If you're not shy, and if not, any questions?
Just raise your hands if you have a quick question.
Okay.
Yes, back there I see one. What's the future for your company?
Okay, very nice questions. So we really think that we're going to be the next company for providing market intelligence for the entire world. So there is few big companies like Nielsen that give similar data for the offline world, like TV shows rating and other e-commerce. So we do the same like Nielsen, but for the digital world. Nielsen is a very big company. It employs 20,000 employees, and it's $20 billion market cap. So basically, we want to be kind of the same, but for the digital world. Yes.
There's one back there.
Stand up that I can hear. Sorry. Bot. So we don't...
Just repeat the question. What about the bot traffic?
Bot traffic, yeah. And the second one?
Okay, and if it is a big problem for
It's a good question. He asked what's happening with bot traffic. You know, there's a lot of bots scanning the internet, and a lot of the time websites don't understand if it's users or bots. So the nice thing about our company, we don't have this problem because I monitor real users that download my product. So what I'm seeing is only real users. I don't see bot traffic. So our data is very clean from that. Yes.
Last question here.
Yeah.
So how did you stay motivated in the first years after you didn't generate money?
This is a good question. A lot of time when I talk with entrepreneurs, they ask you how you didn't give up. You know, it's 10 years. The first 5 years was very tough. I had to pivot the company. What I didn't told you that every time I pivot the company, I had to fire half of my employees. So we started. I recruit 12 employees. After 1 year understanding, I fire half of them, and we went down to 6 employees. We started doing again, see it's working, increased the team to 15. Didn't work, had to fire all of the employees, stay with 4 employees. And it was the first 5.5 years was really terrible. And it's really good questions. So the answer is one, that you need not to give up internally. The funny thing that in one point of time, we got, when we start working on the new path and start showing it, we got an M&A offer. And at one point, I thought to myself, okay, let's sell the company. What the hell? You know, we were 10 people, and some bigger company that have 20 employees come and told us, let's merge. And I said, okay, okay, let's do it. Like, I worked for 5.5 years, nothing happened, and we didn't launch the new product yet. So I even went to my board and convinced them to do the merge. And then, funny enough, the other company didn't want to in the end. So I had to go back and continue the company. And 2 years ago, they came to us to acquire them now. So you see, life is a circle, and we didn't, because we're just growing too fast, and we didn't do it. But the answer is you need not to give up, okay? And also, you need luck. So at one point, I did give up, and I was ready to do it, but something stopped me to doing it, so I'm grateful for that. Guys, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation.
Thank you very much. Or offer. So be back in half an hour. We have another cool talk with Alexander Bart coming up about